too. We're talking real estate, it's Re-Brew. From Tampa's breweries to deals on the rise, we'll help you grow and maximize. It's Re-Brew time, let's raise a glass to hops, homes, and making moves that last. So sip it slow and hear what's new. Welcome to the show, it's Re-Brew. It's Re-Brew time, let's raise a glass to hops, homes, and making moves that last. So sip it slow and hear what's new. Welcome to the show, it's Re-Brew.
Hi, welcome to Re-Brew. This is KJ Workman with Milestone Title. I am here with my partner in crime, Melvin Bermudez. Look at me go. I nailed your last name.
You
Boom,
did.
boom,
It's
boom.
only been 84 years.
84 years. 84 years ago.
Oh,
When I
Jesus.
dropped you into the ocean.
The ocean.
The ocean. So we are here with a special guest today. She's actually a friend of mine. We've been in some spiritual travels together, but she is actually a fabulous loan officer. Do I say that right? Is it loan officer or is it
That's
just
one way to say it, for
Loan
sure.
originator.
I mean,
There's a bunch of different
I'm
words.
Katie, the mortgage lady, so that's kind of what I go by.
so you're not an officer of the loan?
I can be if you need me to, I guess. Whatever it takes, like I said.
Hands up.
Heads up. Rates up. Heads
I do
up.
lay down the law with my clients. So
Listen, I like
you
that.
see what I did there?
Yeah, I do. I see what you did there.
Oh, it's clever. Well, Katie is with us today. She's going to be, our topic today is going to be talking about the power of coaching. And Katie is not only a coach herself, but she firmly believes, we do, that having a coach is essential to your business. And we're going to talk about why. So I'm the only loser in the room who doesn't have a coach
Yet.
Now, I just steal coaching material from Melvin most of the time. And then since Katie and I are friends, she'll act as my...
But you do have
Unpaid
coaches,
coach.
because think of that class that we went for NLP. That was coaching.
Right. I get moments of...
Yeah.
And then I'm surrounded by coached people.
You're
So
being
I feel
coached,
like
and you're open to,
coached adjacent.
yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
But so I'm going to play
I'll
a
go
little
with that.
bit of like, tell me why I need a coach.
Tell me why. I just went to that concert.
Ain't nothing
You
but-
can't use Backstreet Boys
No,
lyrics
you
because that's
can't.
all I have in my brain.
If I could do it on purpose, I would. But
I want it that
literally-
way. Oh, this podcast is going to be a little larger than life.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is going to take you into the millennium.
I hate
Oh
to, I
my
hate to say this, but I'm more of an NSYNC gal myself.
I mean, I am too, but when the opportunity arises,
yeah.
you know, I was already in Vegas for this conference anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
And it all started with New Kids on the
I
Block.
may
let's
have
be
been
serious.
sitting in the hot tub, under the influence of something and just hit add to cart
Yeah.
3 months ago.
I don't
and I'm
blame
not
you.
mad at it because my same seats the night of the concert and the going forward, I looked up my section. I paid $175 a seat. Their $650 was the cheapest one, the top of my section, and I was at the bottom.
Yep.
$850 was my row.
I'm going to call that the power of taking action right there.
That is the power of taking action.
Yes.
Stop just sitting on it. If it's something you know that you're going to like and you're going to want to do, just freaking do it and
Yep.
figure it out later. And I think that's a good topic for the coaching piece is like
100%.
a lot of people
This is
just
something
do
I
it.
believe in fully. When something comes up, especially like multiple times, it's like, oh, I kind of want to do that, right? I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to do that.
Yep,
You have to pay attention.
you do.
Because-
and the longer you sit on it, the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you. Not only in the cost of said coaching, right? Because everything is cheaper when you do the early bird stuff, right?
Of course.
But how much is it going to cost you in your business to not get coached? Like how much money are you losing by not doing what you need to do and like learning those?
Yeah. I actually
fundamentals.
say that all the time in relation to rates too, right? So what is a great rate going to cost you? You know, if you're working with Rocket Mortgage, no offense, I'm just going to call them out because
No.
most of the time they're not great, right?
Do it.
What's it going to cost you? Is it going to cost you time? Is it going to cost you energy? Is it going to cost you money? Yeah, sure. You can get 5.99%.
Sure can.
But your
Gonna
closing
cost
costs are
you.
going to be $1 million.
Right. But the same with a coach, right? There's a cost to everything. And for me, I actually had coaches for a long time. I might have got into debt because of them, because I also was choosing things that I really didn't feel alignment with. I was feeling like, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need that. And so I was hiring all these people, doing all these things, but never really in it. And so
Never executing.
Yeah,
You got the knowledge.
So some
you
of them
soaked
worked,
it up, but
right?
You never put it in motion.
I got something from everything I did, and
100%.
I'm grateful. I believe everything happens with purpose. That's what I like to say versus everything happens for a reason. So
Right.
everything happens with purpose. I got something from everything, but now I've taken a little bit of a different approach because I took a step back from not only coaching but having coaches. I was like, I just kind of need to figure my shit out, right? And just
Right.
I got back to me, and I realized, man, I need a coach. Like, I love having a coach. It absolutely helps me see outside myself because sometimes someone needs to be, hey, you're being a little bitch. I don't know if we can swear on this
No,
podcast.
we
I've
sure
done it
can't.
twice.
Everything is
I've done it
explicit.
twice.
It's fine.
Okay.
Every episode, we have to put the label.
I will say to your point too, when it comes to like the coaching piece, and for some of us, it's that part, right? The accountability piece is someone holding you to it, right? But then for some of us too, it's just the mental mind fuckery of the fact that fuck, I paid for this shit. I better get something out of it, right?
Right.
Some
Yep.
people
That's why
that
they
works
charge you.
too.
Yeah.
That's why it's
So
not
they
free.
do it, they do it out of, well, I paid for it. I guess I got to do this. And then they realize, oh my God, it worked.
Yep.
They don't do it with the right reasons. They do it because they
No.
paid for it. But then they're like, whoa, it's
Yep.
crazy.
And I was telling KJ this story. So I just hired one of my old coaches. I just hired her again for one-on-one coaching, and it's $3,000 a month.
Right.
And most people are probably like, that's more than my mortgage, right? And I was trying to decide what I was going to do going forward. I'd worked with her for a month. I was feeling much better and more secure in my business. I was feeling like I really want to do it, but also I was looking at my spending action plan. That's what I call my budget. My spending action plan. It's a lot more fun, right?
Right,
Right.
because it allows you, doesn't restrict you.
Yes. Budget comes from restriction and lack. So my spending action plan, and I was like, is this something that's really in the plan? And my ego started to be like, almost like the devil on your shoulder, like, don't do it, don't do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to kind of give it to God and the universe, and I will know the right answer. And we had a call.
Oh, go ahead, finish, because I have a thing. Go ahead.
Okay. We had a call scheduled for 11 o'clock, and at 10:58, I got a text from a realtor, hey, do you have a minute? I have a deal going sideways.
yep.
And guess what? Normally I would have dropped everything. I can't miss out on a deal, right? And I was like, I'm going into a meeting. I'll call you right after. Like, we've got this. I'll take it. We'll figure it out. I promise.
She's saving the deal. It wasn't her
Yeah.
deal.
It was
She's gonna
it wasn't my
save
deal.
a
I was gonna swoop in and
That's
save
her
the deal.
specialty.
Yes, I love saving deals. So much fun. I'm taking one over today that was supposed to close Thursday. Wells Fargo. Anyways, so yeah, 2 minutes before my meeting, but I held strong. I honored my time. I knew I had that meeting scheduled with my coach. And I normally, like, let's say 3 months ago, I probably would have dropped what I was doing and said, hey, I had to work on something urgent. So long story short, I took over the file. It was like a Monday. I flipped the file over on a Tuesday. We were cleared to close a week later.
Right.
We were supposed to close the following day, but the seller ended up extending. Of course, they always do that.
Right.
But guess what? Do you know how much I'll earn from that one deal? More than her coaching.
Yeah.
And it was such a sign for me. I'm like, okay, I'm listening, right?
Correct.
Right.
I
Nice.
know this is the right move because now I'm in the energetic frequency where that pays for itself.
Energetic frequency.
Yes.
see
I use
why
big
we're
words.
friends?
This is why we hang out a lot.
Do you see why we're friends? We speak the same woo-woo language.
Well, and that's why you see all these people who are super successful and they
Yeah,
carry this
100%.
momentum, and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? I want to be more like them. But it's just this momentum, and you just want to work with them.
Yep.
And they're not pushing. For the last 7 months, I've been pushing.
Right.
And I'm not saying that doesn't work and doesn't keep you busy enough, but it doesn't move the needle,
Yeah.
and it's not fun. I
Right.
was like,
No.
I don't
Stressful.
like who I am. I'm like, where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing with my life?
Yes, I was like midlife revolutioning. Like, what's
I
happening?
know. She threatened
And why
to move back
reinvent
to
the wheel? If
Massachusetts.
if someone else has already achieved what you're trying to achieve yourself, why reinvent the wheel and try to do this shit on your own?
Yeah.
Get
The nature of
aligned with
humans.
someone who's done it and be like, okay, so how did you get there?
Yep.
And I think the biggest thing is, and there's a couple things that I see a lot of times with coaching. We had a lot of conversations. So just to give you a little background, I just spent the last 2 days, well, not the last two because I was at Backstreet Boys the other night, but that was the fun part of the event. I was at Forward 2025. Anybody who knows, social media knows Neil Dingra. He's a big name in social. Dan Martell was speaking. Sharon Shavista. It's a whole, I'm going to butcher a bunch of names, a whole bunch of amazing speakers.
Welcome to my world.
One of my favorites that I connected with, and I cannot wait to become a part of his coaching, and I think I'm going to definitely make it happen, is Chris Doe. Never thought, never even knew who he was at the beginning. He's got 1 million followers, big following. I think I resonated with him. And I think that's a big thing too with coaching. Find someone who you resonate with, someone who kind of matches your vibe, and go with it. Now, I don't think there's ever going to be a coach that has everything. Like anything else, they're not going to match every single box. They're not going to check every single box that you have, right? But that's okay. Take the pieces you can from them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be with the same exact coach forever either. Like you can do different things. You know, I have a coach. My coach right now is mainly social media based, right? So now I've learned, okay, good. I've gotten that basis. I think I'm going to continue a little bit of that, right? Just to stay fresh. But now I need to take it to another level, and I need to find a different business coach that aligns more with the business side.
And there's so many different coaches for different things. I've had tactical ones. I've had ones I would label as more woo-woo.
Right.
I've had people in between. I had a coach who was a medium.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken things to the next level. I mean, you name it, I've probably done it.
But you have to invest in yourself to figure that out. And I think a lot of people's big hurdle is the money part. They're like, oh, it's $3,000 for coaching. It's a money grab. Ew, they just want money and that's how they got rich. And I'm like, okay, one, they need to make a fucking living. Let's be real.
And awesome, good for them.
And to your point, okay, let's say it's $3,000, right? Because that's what I'm battling with right now. Because I want to join Dan Martell's group. He's freaking phenomenal, right? But the 2-month program is $3,000, and then it goes like 4 months for $6,000 or whatever, and it goes up from there, right? In the scope of things, oh my God, that's a lot of money, right? But that's less than one deal for most of us, depending on where you're at in the industry. You know what I mean? And if you do that $3,000 for 2 months and you learn just one new thing that brings you more business, hello, wake the fuck up. You know, and we were talking about earlier before the podcast, you know, I've talked to a lot of agents that are just like, oh, when I get the money, if I get the money, when I get the money, you know, I'll try. And then I see those same people booking $500 concert tickets and $1,000 to go see freaking whomever, you know, like, you know how many people right now are spending thousands of dollars to go see Beyonce sing a country concert, and she's not even a country artist. Sorry, not sorry. You know,
No
like,
one's sorry.
Blows my mind. I'm like, so you're gonna spend $1,200 to go see some singer for
We're gonna get all the
an hour
Beyonce
and a
fans in the
half.
comments.
Sorry.
Good, bye. She's a phenomenal artist. Country's not it. But it's like you'll spend that money on that, but you're not going to invest in yourself, and you're going to come up with all these layers of reasons why you shouldn't. Just do the damn thing and see what happens. And if you do the damn thing, you spend the $3,000 and it doesn't, okay, well, that wasn't what I thought it was. I guarantee you're still going to get something out of it that's going to make you money.
Oh, 100%.
Period.
And don't get me wrong, I have not earned my return on everything I invested in.
Correct, right.
That would be insane if you did.
That would be awesome. I mean, when I look at it as a whole, I do think that I am up more than I'm down. Like, kind of like Vegas, right? It's like, oh, yeah.
Right.
Have I won more than I lost?
Right.
And I do think that as a whole, I have earned way more than I've invested in coaching overall. And there were certain things I invested a lot of money in, and I didn't take as much from, and there was other things that paid tenfold, right? So it all kind of evened out. You know, I paid $15,000 for a trip to Ireland, a retreat that I went to with one of my coaches.
Yeah.
Am I going to get a return on that directly? That's harder to quantify. Did my life change because of that retreat? It did.
Right.
So it's really hard sometimes to put a number on it, but if you're starting with coaching, I recommend starting with something that is a little bit more tactical, that you can say, okay, here's what I'm doing right now, right? We're in a business right now that some people would say is declining or maybe becoming a little bit, it's becoming more of a challenging industry, but it's how you look at it too. But let's look at where you're at now, right? Hire that coach, and where are you at in 3 months? And if you're not doing more, right, then okay. But take what you love, leave what you don't, because what someone tells me that I don't agree with tells me just as much as what they tell me that I am like, oh, I love that, right?
Yep.
Because I'm like,
You know what you're aligning with at that point.
if I'm like, oh, I don't love that, right? I worked with a great group, Mortgage Marketing Animals. They're coaches for lenders specifically.
Oh,
Have
I
you heard
got
of
to
them?
meet them. No, I was
them.
just with them.
Oh, were you? I love
literally.
them. I love them, by
You
the
were
way.
with the monkeys?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I was with the mortgage dads. I got to meet the mortgage dads. They were all mortgage
that's so
marketing
fun.
animals. The realtor playbook guy was there. Everyone that was in real estate or mortgage that is somebody who has become somebody was at this event. And to me, what I took from that, I'm like, they're already where I want to be, but they're still getting coached.
Yeah.
They're still going to events to learn
You have
more.
to always keep learning.
Everyone. And I sat
Always.
back and a lot of people don't, I think deeply way too often sometimes. And I literally walked out of the event the first day after meeting all these people I followed for years that are like million followers, 55,000, 400,000, whatever. and they're coaching people. The coaches are getting coached.
And they're everyday people, by the way.
There's a
they're no
reason.
one special. Like, I'm
Right.
not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that we all have the capabilities to be just like them. Like, if you're seeing them, they're in your energetic field.
Yep.
The possibility is there. Right. We look at these people and put them on a pedestal that's like, they're better than us. They're not.
They're not. They're so
and they
freaking
know
cool.
they're not. They're okay with it. They're just like, hey, I'm just like you.
And they're willing to share their tips and tricks on how they got wealthy.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy because they don't look at you like competition. I think in this industry, there's so many people that look at other lenders and other realtors and other title companies even like, oh, they're the competition. I can't do. You should probably associate yourself with the competition. Help
Absolutely.
build each other up, and you never know what could happen. I mean, that competition maybe one day might work for you. That competition maybe one day might be the reason you're getting to the next level because they're like, hey, okay, you want to run a brokerage, you want to start your own mortgage company. I already did that. Let me tell you what I fucked up with, so you don't fuck up with that, right?
Yeah.
And think of it like the most minuscule thing. I'm sorry, I'm fired up after this event.
That's okay. We love it.
My
Bring
pool, right? You know, I built my own pool at my house during COVID. I asked every single one of my friends and neighbors and everybody else who already had a pool, what did you fuck up with? Like, where did you go wrong so I don't make the same mistakes you did?
Yeah, so smart.
Pool coach.
It's like, you know, do that with your business. Hey, I want to be where you're at. Like, what do you have? I mean, don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Yeah. Or how many clients have you lost that you haven't just said, hey, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What could I have done differently to earn your business?
Oh my God, just ask the questions. Be bold
What do you have
enough
to
and brave
lose?
enough.
What's the big deal? We're all so scared of what someone's going to say.
It's our ego, not ego like egotistical ego
Yeah.
as in like
our brain.
One of the cool things that
Silly brains.
Neil was talking about on stage that was a very simple thing. It was at the end of the event. He was talking about gathering feedback from us for the event. What went wrong, what didn't, right? I think, and something I'm going to adapt, and I just had this conversation with an agent. We're planning a broker's open and stuff like that. And, you know, one of the big things is, hey, I want to get feedback on the home so that way I can better position this to the client and let them know, hey, like we are overpriced. Hey, you know.
Yeah.
But here's what I've learned, right? Brokers opens, you put those little feedback forms out. No one fills them out because they're scared to do it in front of people. They don't want you to see them do it.
Yep.
Most feedback is like that. And then even if you do, let's say, SurveyMonkey, right? If it captures their name and their email address, you're not going to get clear feedback. You're still going to get the cookie cutter responses because their fear is, fuck, they're going to know Melvin wrote this.
Right.
They're going to know KJ wrote this, right? So one thing that Neil said that I really loved was he was like, if you're going to get feedback, you need to. For everything you do, you need to get feedback. Every event, every transaction, whatever. He said, make the feedback 100% anonymous. Do not capture their name. Do not capture their email. Don't even follow up with them.
Smart.
He said 100% anonymous feedback. You're going to hear the real voice and the real concerns of those people.
Yeah.
So I'm going to adapt that into my open houses and brokers open. I'm going to put up a QR code. When that pops up, it's going to be very blatantly, hey, this is 100% anonymous. I have no clue who you are. I'm not going to find out who you are. And I'm going to allow them to do that on their own time with their own phone. It'll look like they're texting. It'll look like they're on Instagram, right? And they're going to be more willing to do that. A quote that I heard, and this was one of our speakers, Ryan Leake, who I love. I sent you the book, How to Deal with Complicated People. I cannot wait
downloaded it
to read this book. He spent a shit ton of money just on the graphics and cover, had like an award-winning graphics artist, and his whole speech was on, he called it the game of inches, right? And don't think dirty, get out of the gutter.
I was like, uh-oh.
Every inch matters.
Matters.
But no, it's the game of inches, and he was talking about how, you know, one extra inch in whatever you do can be the reason why you excel past someone else,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a boiling point, right? There's
So, like,
1 degree
his-
different.
Yeah, and his book, right? His book that he did when he was getting it ready for print or whatever, he was getting ready to do the graphics and all that. They say, hey, you need to someone told him you need to reach out to this guy. And this guy is like a world-renowned artist, whatever, super expensive, right? He was like, why would I spend that kind of money? So then he was like, you know what? After lots of conversations, he's like, you know what? Let's just do it. And he got the book over to the guy, got it, started doing the design, whatever. When he was talking the game of inches, what set this artist apart when it came to his book was they're required, his team, not only the artist, but his graphics design team is required to read the entire book beginning to end before they even start designing
Wow.
the covers, the
So
pages.
smart. I never would have thought of that.
Correct.
Right?
That's what I said. So he was like, what made this guy special was that extra inch that he took.
Yep.
And by them all reading the book, they were able to the graphics in this book. I almost want the paper copy. I should have got it. They were giving them out for free. I went out the wrong fucking door. Yeah, I did. I went out the wrong door and I didn't get one. But Neil, I need one.
You know,
Neil,
you can buy it, right?
I can, but I like free is great. But I will buy it. I already did buy it, actually, the Kindle version. But, you know, one thing he said on stage that I got the quotes, I love some of the stuff he said, but awareness without action is just observation.
Oh, that was from NLP.
I was like, oh.
Do you remember?
Yes.
And then when it comes to like the books, right? And you're my book queen, my book queen.
I is.
He said, the best book you have ever read is the one you applied.
No, for sure.
I'm like, oh.
I love that.
But like listening to Ryan speak, his whole theme of his lecture was just the significance of business and personal growth from small intentional actions, self-awareness, applying knowledge, human connection, striving for excellence. And he did, again, someone else talked about external feedback, consistent application, and intentional behaviors to create unforgettable experiences. And
Oh, wait, say that last part.
intentional behaviors to create unforgettable experiences.
Okay, if you're listening to this, write that freaking down on a piece of paper or put it in your notes or like save it as a background in your phone. That is the key to the customer wow experience that you need to be giving if you're in this industry, no matter what you do.
And it's funny you say that because I always tell my clients, listen, I strive for a 5-star review, and that means a 5-star experience, right? It's not about the review. It's about getting that experience. Yep. And one of the things I was thinking of recently is I'm like, I really want to call people after a 5-star review and say, like, not only thank you because I appreciate them, and that's something I've done pretty consistently, but what in the process could have been different to make it even better,
If
right?
6 stars was an option, how could I got?
Yes, right.
that?
Hey, I know I told you I strive for 5 stars. I want to strive for 6 out of 5. Why not?
Right.
What could have taken your experience to the next level? Because they already love you. You're opening the door for anything that came up, right? And you're still asking for that feedback. And I've done that on the ones that are lower than 5. It's like, okay, what could I have done differently to make this a 5-star experience? But this is kind of prompting me to take a different approach. It's like, I have a lot of 5-star reviews. What would happen if I asked them what could have made
What would have took it over the edge?
better,
Yeah.
right? What would have made you, put me in your wedding?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
What do I need to do to be your maid of honor?
In the wedding, right?
Okay,
Right.
just a bridesmaid.
I know.
I mean, there's so
Flower
much.
girl?
What I'm gonna
Okay, just to the bachelorette.
right, that'll work.
Yeah, sounds like
Let's
fun.
send you to Vegas. You can go
I'll drive the bus.
party. What I'm going to offer is like, if you're listening to this podcast and anything we say resonates with you, any of the quotes or anything that I'm bringing up, this is all from this event. Anything that I'm discussing here, I have it all laid out for you. So shoot me a text, email, DM, whatever form of communication, snail mail, send a fucking pigeon.
I was just going to say carrier pigeon.
Whatever you want to
Signal.
send. And I will make sure you get a copy of every audio clip, every person that spoke. I recorded them. I have notes for every single person.
He does not gatekeep. This is for
No,
sure.
not at all,
Ever.
because I think people know this. And like, our good friend Gogo always says is like, 90% of the people who listen and they don't take action, the 10% that do are going to they're going to shine.
Right.
They're going
And
to
no
be the
need to
ones making the
gatekeep
money.
when there's so much abundance to go around. It really.
That part, that part. Everybody's going to connect with somebody differently.
Yeah.
So if you're worried like, oh, they're going to take my business, someone's going to connect with Katie very differently than they're going to connect with my other
And
lender,
I've been in
Doug,
the
or my
zone
other
where I look
lender.
at other lenders and I'm like, I wish I could be as good as them. So I'm not saying I don't sometimes feel that way. It's just in general, I love being friends with lenders. That's one big struggle I've had down here is, people tend to think, oh, are they trying to recruit me? Or, what are they doing? And it's like, I just want to be friends.
Right. Right.
So if you're a lender out there looking for a friend, like I love lender friends because I can run scenarios by them. They can run them by me. It makes me feel like I did good today. I helped someone figure something out,
I'm going to compete with you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't come across many people down here. So it's not like, and
Well,
even
some
if I
people just have
did,
that
even if I did, right? Even if we were constantly competing, it's no big deal. I mean,
There's
some
enough.
of my best friends up north, we're in the same company, same market. We work with some of the same realtors. Like, you can't compete more than that.
Yeah.
You're offering the same thing. So there's no way to do a competitive advantage there, right? But we're all
Right.
friends.
Well, I will say if you are competing with someone in your own industry, that's a good time to look at and go, okay, do they have a coach? Because like if I want to step up my game, maybe I should get a coach. Like that is my competitor, and like we are pretty closely matched, like skill wise, relationship wise, like whatever. That extra inch, if you will, is get a freaking coach. I'm
Get a
sorry,
coach.
bring us back into the.
I love it. And,
that's
and
fine.
you know,
You
one
have to
thing.
keep us on track. Like, whip it.
That is
Yeah.
not my specialty.
You know, there was so much that I soaked up, and you know, when I left here, I was like, my gosh. So right now, my challenge is figuring out, okay, which coach do I want to start with? You know,
Yeah.
because like they all taught me so many different things, and you know, like I was talking to you earlier, Chris Doe. If you don't know who he is.
How you spell his name, though?
D-O. Like Chris Do.
Dude.
Oh, I love it.
But Chris, you know, I didn't know who he was when he first got up there, and we talked a lot. And what I loved about him is he just, in a man in his position, everywhere we went, even when he wasn't speaking, my guy would whip out a sheet of paper or anything he could write on, and he would just teach people all day. You would see him in a corner writing things down, showing people charts, how to do this, how to do that. He's won Grammys.
Wow.
He's done all the graphics design for U2 and the Coldplay. Like, there's a whole list.
Cool.
Apple, Adidas, Audi. Like he does.
Adidas?
Yeah.
I've never heard it pronounced that way. Is that really how it's...
How do you say it?
He said
Adidas?
Adidas.
How do you say it?
Well, he called it Adidas.
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 All the dolls.
You know, but like listening to him, I mean, some of the stuff he said, and this is one I really, really loved. He said, "Good as expected. That's the cost of entry. We need to focus on being different." And you good, girl? You
Oh
good?
my God.
Is your leg kicking out to the side?
Yeah, if that was
I mean,
a leg.
there's so much he said. He said, you know, have the courage to be disliked. We've heard that one before. He said, different is better than better. I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Different is better than better. Are we going to put some of these on T-shirts?
And we
Can we?
should.
Yeah, that'd be
Actually,
so
he
fun.
designs the
That'd be
T-shirts,
so
so I
fun.
can have him design some for us. I have a whole plan. I
know. He's got a brain dump on me later this week. It sounds not as cool as it sounds.
service to others.
I'm like, he's going to... Gross.
Dead. Gutter.
Gutter.
Reeling it back in.
Gutter ball.
Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on Earth.
Say again.
Service to others is the rent that you pay for your room here on Earth. I was like, oh my
that
God.
like got me in the field.
No.
That was like
Got me
right
in the
there.
field, too.
You know, so like there's just so much that you can get out of a coach. I mean, like, and these people, you know, not all coaches are up in the upper echelon of like, you know, millionaires, right? But how the fuck did you think they got there? You know, and it's so cool to hear what they have
And
to
if
say.
you hire a coach who doesn't have a coach, don't.
There's that part.
Just don't.
You know, I agree.
Because you should, I mean,
I agree.
And that's actually one reason I took a step back from coaching is like, I'm not going to coach if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being coached because I knew that I couldn't be the best for my clients.
It's almost like imposter syndrome type dealio.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you're
I'm
like,
not saying you can't. I'm just saying if you're not working on yourself to grow and get better, how are you able to help your clients get better? You're
Yeah.
going to tap out,
Right.
essentially.
Oh my God, that reminded me like a RuPaul quote. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get out your man up in here?
I love it. That also needs to go on the T-shirt, right?
That might be copyright issues there, but you know.
Well, you can just put RuPaul.
We'll get
RuPaul.
her permission. It's fine. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quoting.
I got a picture with him at the Wax Museum.
Oh, at the Wax Museum. Oh.
But I mean, it's.
Same.
I think if you're ever on the fence about a coach or like you don't know if it's worth it, I just tell you, I challenge you to just give it a try, man, and see what you can soak up and really, really commit to it. Don't just take it lightly and do it. And I'd say the flip side of it, and something I wrote down to kind of touch on is, I understand that like financially, this is not a thing for everyone. It's expensive.
Yes, there is. So I'm gonna encourage you to think a little differently because
Okay,
there
do it.
is a lot of variations on the cost of coaching. So
Yeah.
you can buy coaching online. Some of them are free.
Some of them are free.
And say,
Yeah.
hey, this is the first coach I'm going to hire because you're still giving your time. So there's an energetic exchange there. So it doesn't have to be money, right?
Yep.
So if money is not what you can offer at this time, offer your time.
Yep.
You know, take the free courses because guess what? Coaches want to give you stuff for free because they want you to see how awesome they are. So there's a lot of stuff out there that you can get from people.
And see who you align with.
Right. The trick is don't just get everything free from everyone. Pick someone who you feel like you could ultimately see yourself working with. Take in their free content and say, okay, I'm going to implement this. And once I get to this point, I'll know I'm ready for this program. Right.
Yeah.
Most of them have tiered programs, right? Some of them, if they've been doing it a long time, they might only be doing a certain thing.
Right.
But most coaches who are out there, they have something you can download for $1 or
Yeah,
or
and-
30 or whatever it might be. So it doesn't have to be. You don't have to pay $3,000 a month for a coach. You
Well,
don't.
let's take it another route, right? What I was going to get at with that coaching thing and the money part is, right, fucking podcasts are free. All these coaches have podcasts
Right,
where they
and-
talk about all the fundamental things that they usually coach on, right?
Yes.
The only difference is you're not getting that one-on-one. It's kind of like, you know, for some of us, I'll use the gym. Like I go to F45, right? It's team training in a group setting. You know, you're not paying for one individual trainer. It's a group class. And that's how I think of like a podcast. Okay, like you still have the coach, but it's more like a group setting situation. It's not specifically individualized to you right now, but you can take those fundamental pieces of what they're
Absolutely.
talking about and apply them. And even outside of that, if you're on this journey like I am, trying to figure out who fits for me, listen to their podcast, go to their YouTube channels, go, you know, subscribe to their Instagram feeds and all that, and
there's
just
a
watch.
lot of content out there that you can get started,
Right.
absolutely, and say, okay, I'm going to implement these strategies with this coach, and when I get to this point, I have a line in the sand. I'm going to hire them
Yeah.
for this or whatever it might be. But you have to be able to invest in yourself, and I think that involves more time than money. You know, money ultimately, of course, too. But
I always say, like, the money will always come.
Yeah.
The money will always come. The thing I was going to say earlier when you were like, ask the universe or God or whatever you're talking to, I posted this thing on my story the other day. I was like, give your dreams to the universe. It will fund it. Like,
Yeah.
It
you don't
does.
have to figure it out. Just give it to whatever version of the universe.
And when I was
is
struggling the
yours.
most, I was not giving it to God. I was not giving it to the universe. I was taking it upon myself to hustle and grind to try and figure things out.
Hustle
very
culture,
painfully,
grind culture is
very painfully,
dead.
a lot of
Yeah,
tears.
it is dead.
You know, frustration in my marriage with my kids because I was a different
You were married to your
person.
kids?
No, my marriage and my kids.
So what I was going to say along with that is sometimes when people are thinking about getting a coach, it's like, well, when I get the money. Well, money, yes, will come, but you also have to have a plan for that. So like every additional, like I normally, let's say a person who's in real estate normally makes, let's say 10 grand a month. Anything over 10 grand a month, let's just say that as an example to keep the numbers, I make let's say 1 month you make 13,000 or you make that extra money needs to go into a coaching account. And you
Yeah.
have to be specific because there's a reason that extra money was given to you. And it wasn't just to go buy concert tickets. It was for you to get more money.
Yeah.
So
that's
then
where
now
a lot
you're
of people
20 months
have trouble,
producer,
right? They
30
get this
months.
extra money and then they go on the cruise or they buy the Louis Vuitton or, you know,
Yeah.
the fancy
But
shoes
imagine
that
how
I don't
many
know the
Louis
names
Vuittons
of.
you can buy
That
if
part.
you're making
that
so
part,
much
that
more
part,
money
That part.
from coaching.
You're speaking to my soul.
And by the way,
I
I have a
always
Louis
speak to
Vuitton.
your
I'm not
soul.
saying don't buy the Louis Vuitton.
Correct.
I'm saying
We're saying you could buy more.
exactly. I'm saying why are you
We're
holding out
saying maybe
for more?
don't buy the next one now. Put that into coaching, and then once you're done, you implement. You know, you might have to wait a little while, right? You might have to put it on hold
Be
for a little bit.
specific about it. So I tell my clients this when they're trying to prepare to purchase a house because a lot of people right now are in mortgages that might be less than their future mortgage is going to be because of a couple reasons. I work with a lot of first-time buyers, so a lot of them are moving up. We're in an environment where rates are higher than they were before, right? Their payments most likely going to be higher than they're used to. So one of the pieces of advice I give, and I think this can translate into a lot of other things, is it's like, okay, great. So you can afford a mortgage of $3,500 and you're paying $2,000 and have nothing saved, right?
Right.
What would happen if you saved $1,500 a month? Well, all of a sudden in a few months, we have our buffer, right? And you feel energetically better with the payment than just, oh my God, I have to pay that much more. So do the same thing with coaching. You know, my husband, when we started working together at Annie Mac, I said, when you come to work with me, why don't we put 10% aside into a Jeep fund? And he's like, is this for real? Is this a trick? I'm like, no, you deserve
No,
it, right? Because what I want him to see is that the more energy he puts into
Correct.
working with me, the more he gets out of it, the bigger his Jeep gets. It just added tires.
How big
It-
you want your
It
Jeep?
quite literally got bigger, right? And then
Literally.
we can move to the next thing. But
Right.
it's something that excites him. So if this is something that sounds exciting to you, put a plan together to take action on that.
Right.
Maybe it's a percentage of your commissions, right? Maybe 10% of your commissions goes into a separate account, but be conscious of it because otherwise what happens is you get extra money, you go to Disney. You get extra money, you buy the purse, you buy the shoes.
Prime Day.
Yeah, whatever it might
Got a
be.
whole ass TV this time.
Oh my God, I want a pizza oven. That's on our list. I want that pizza oven so bad. We do pizza a lot. So
I'll just get a smoker, and then it'll make him happy. And
we
it
have a
does-
smoker. Can we use that for pizza?
Yeah, I smoke pizza all the time. You put it up to like,
What else you smoke
Put it
over
up
there?
to
I
400.
smoke pizza all the time.
Well, that's a topic for another
That's
podcast.
before the pizza.
That's for my other podcast I'm going to do eventually.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I mean, that's so funny you say that because it led me in another note that I took down. I highlighted because I was like, this one's a good one too. The number one this was Omar was on stage, who, just background on him, he came to that event like 4 years ago, making under 100K, kind of stuck, couldn't get past that 100K thing. And now he's making like multiple seven figures just by implementing. And he said, multiple times, he was like, in the room, there's only ever like 25% of people that get it and implement it. He said the number one distinguishing characteristic he found with uber successful people is their ability to take quick action. And
Yes.
it's called speed of implementation.
Yep.
Early adapters.
That's
Early
why
adopters.
they say if you need something done, ask the busiest person in the room. Because guess what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it and move on.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. It's just, it's crazy because so many people have this doubt, this fear of, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. It's nuts. And then, there was another topic that really struck me because this one, you guys might like this one. They were talking about like one-trick ponies, right? They were like, yeah, like, they're one-trick ponies. Like,
I love how you look like you're riding a pony right now. Like, hey. I don't know if that's how you ride a pony, but I don't know.
That's how they did in that. Come on in, let's do it. Ride it.
I used to love
My
that
pony.
song. I just didn't really get it.
Did you like it genuinely?
Genuinely.
So he was talking about like one-trick ponies and how, everybody always likes to, oh, they're only good at this. Oh, they're only good at that. Oh, they're just a one-trick pony or whatever. And it was so funny because he said, his daughter changed his perspective on one-trick ponies. And she was like, Dad, you know what a one-trick pony is? And he was like, what? She goes, a unicorn. She's like, a unicorn is a one-trick pony. And then he started diving into it. He goes, let's talk about one-trick ponies. He was like, think about some of the most successful people in the world. He's like, Messi, right? He plays soccer. That's what he's good at.
He doesn't do anything else.
You got Michael Phelps. He was one of the best
They've
swimmers.
done pretty well for themselves, I
Right.
think.
Correct. He's like, there's Michael
trick
Phelps.
is
He's like,
really good.
Michael Phelps. What is he good at? Swimming. Like he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Then he goes down the list of all these other uber successful people. They're really only good at like one thing.
Right.
But they hyper-focus on that one thing and they perfect it. And they make that one trick their moneymaker, right? So
I was talking about this last night because it was at BNI this morning, so I'm in a BNI group in
Basically
Brandon.
last night because it's
I know. I'm like,
5
all my
o'clock in the
time
morning.
runs together. Yeah, you're right. It is very early.
I don't know what time it is. I'm still 3 hours behind.
Bruce Lee.
day is it?
I think it was in a movie, one of those karate movies. But he said he'd rather go against.
Yeah, he talked about that too. I have that quote.
Oh, do you?
He said,
Tell me.
Yeah, go. Because if you don't know it, I know it.
I don't know it. I don't know it.
So
I
the
was
quote,
going to butcher it.
It's
Take it away.
It's a Bruce Lee quote, and essentially it was talking about how he's more afraid of one person that practiced a single kick 10,000 times versus one person who practiced 10,000 different kicks.
Oh.
Right? He's more fearful of that one person that perfected that one kick.
Oh.
It's kind of like
10,000 times.
Jack of all trades, master of none. And
I
I'm
fucked
not
it all
saying
up too. I'm going to get the real quote.
No, I like it.
I'm not saying you don't have to know how to do a bunch of things, but what would happen if we put our focus into being an expert on one thing? Like amazing things.
Amazing things. You'll be a unicorn in your industry.
Yes.
And that's what you
pony.
want
I
to
love
be.
it. I love it.
Here he goes.
I'm a two-trick pony.
I fear
here's
not
the
the
real
man.
quote.
Let me put my voice on. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. End quote.
How long has Bruce Lee been English?
I didn't want to go the other route. This is less offensive if I do the British voice.
I have never heard him. I've heard him do so many voices.
I cannot breathe, okay?
I've never heard him do that.
I've never heard myself do it. I don't know where it came from.
That was amazing.
Every quote from now on has to be in whatever. That was like,
Oh my God, I'll
what's
find
the
it
dude
out.
that all does
was
the
like-
dragon voice of like James Earl Jones /
Oh my
someone
gosh.
else?
My
Morgan
name
Freeman?
is Optimus
Morgan
Prime.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
yep.
that guy.
Autobots.
You know what it made me think of?
Roll out.
There's this guy on TikTok, and he was doing a stitch with something, and the guy just had this voice that you're just like, oh my God. And the guy's in his car, and he's watching
The
it.
gray-haired guy.
Yes. And the guy goes, just take off my pants.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not gay, but just take off my pants.
Just do it. His voice was
his voice is just like,
I'll find it for
my
you.
God. Yeah. So if you could master that voice, I think
could do
that could
anything.
really work. Yeah.
Make that like your third or fourth trick.
Oh, you know what?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're on one trick. I'm sorry. Can you have other tricks that are just
You
not
can
as
have
good?
side tricks.
Side tricks? Can you have side tricks?
Not to be confused with side chick.
Oh, I
Let
think
me
they're
call
the
on my
same.
side. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids.
So one of your side tricks is definitely voices for
Yes.
sure. But
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
could do
That was
that.
impressive.
Another guy that spoke that I thought was really cool is Johnny Cupcakes. His name was Johnny Cupcakes, right?
That's not real.
And it is, and
I have
it's crazy
questions.
as everybody said that his company wasn't real and it wasn't a thing. He always jokes about it. He's like,
His birth certificate.
He's like, I created a bakery that doesn't bake. They bake T-shirts.
Oh.
But what he does is his business is very hyper focused on memories. So like he says, what did he say? He says, I don't sell merchandise, I sell memories. And what he does is he very hyper focuses on people's emotions. Like for example, one of the examples he uses, he has a breakfast shirt that he comes out with like breakfast and eggs and stuff on it. It's only sold during breakfast hours. It's only available in certain spots, and it comes with a free breakfast meal. And if you show up after breakfast hours, you don't get a shirt. He will not sell you a shirt.
Where is this?
He doesn't have a store now. There's a whole piece, but it was in Boston. He's had them all over the world. But he recently had a series of events and an employee that kind of stole from him while his mom was passing away.
Oh my God.
So he shut down his whole store right now. So it's all online. But what he said that I really liked was on the point of like spending money, right? He said, I always say my $10,000 mistakes inspire my $100,000 ideas.
Ooh.
So like, he's like, yeah, have I messed
Expensive
up?
lessons
He's like,
sometimes.
Right.
correct. And he's like, I've messed up so many times, but he creates these memories and he goes so far. And this is like for us, I took so many notes because this is what we love is to create these experiences and moments. And, for like his Halloween themed or his spooky themed ones, right? He rented a hearse one time and had himself delivered in a casket at a random location that he put out on social media. And that's the only time you can buy that shirt. And people lined up.
That is amazing.
At one point, he had people lined up for
marketing.
like 3 weeks for a specific release that he did on these T-shirts. And it's led to all these different partnerships. But he creates this very unique experience that no other brand.
Like that Hermes bag that sold for what, $10 million?
It's
Can't-
crazy.
The original?
Cannot even.
So here's
So is his
something that.
demographics unemployed people? Because like who has
could
3
be.
weeks to line up?
No,
to
these
do
people have money. I mean, he has such
Oh, they
loyal.
have so much money they don't need to do anything.
Maybe,
that? Oh, for
but
3 weeks to wait
Yeah.
for the shirt. Okay.
he said this that I wrote down for us that I love.
The demographic.
The ingredients of customer obsession are baked into remarkable experiences and experience principles.
Oh, I like that.
I know. Johnny Cupcakes, man. He was a cool freaking dude. And his company,
That's so
when you look it
cool.
up, is probably one of the coolest T-shirt companies I've ever seen. But, it's all about the experience that you build. And I think having these coaches, like, had I not gone to this event, I wouldn't have had these thoughts, theories, ideas,
Yep.
right? And had I not spent the money to go to this event, I would have never known these things. So now you get to watch what we start to implement going forward. And you get to see, even if you don't do coaching now and you're afraid to do it, you'll get to see that what we're going to be doing going forward, right? And then you're going to be like, oh, shit, okay, so maybe it does work. I would have known any of these things had I not gone,
That-
And he
that's
he
just
does like stuff that we love. Like
Being in a room
he
with
makes
people
an ice cream
better than
shirt and he puts it in an ice cream container. He did a bakery item shirt and the box looked like an oven. He does
that's
all these
cool.
very unique experiences that cost him a little bit more money, but then it brings back the customers over and over and over again.
Because
Because
different.
they're like, and they're excited. They're like, what's this going to be?
right.
Yeah.
They don't know what
Because
to
different
expect.
is better than better.
Different is better than better. So, I mean, it's just, I
I'm
love the
putting
topic of coaching.
I
I know
like
we're
it.
working on our time frames, so we're doing pretty good right now.
Well,
love
yes,
it.
we get, in case you haven't
We do
noticed,
talk
we
a
get
lot.
to talking and then we get
Oh,
to
not
talking.
me. I'm not
and
much of a talker.
Right. Yeah, she
Right.
never
No.
says. This is the most words I've ever heard her say.
right?
But so Melvin came back from this trip. Actually, while he was there, he's like, "Oh
I
my
was
God, girl.
blowing them up.
Oh my God, girl. Oh my
Blowing
God."
them up.
Like next
Oh my
year,
God.
you'll be
Oh
sitting
my God.
next to me. We'll be
Yeah.
with you, Melvin,
Yeah.
next year.
I'm
for
so
sure.
excited. I'm bringing all of my friends.
Yeah.
So anybody else who's interested, just shoot me a word, just say forward or something, and I'll remember.
We'll
and
look
I'll
into
put you on
group
the list.
tickets.
Yeah,
We should.
I'll reach out.
But where are we at on time?
43 minutes.
Okay, so for Katie, super big believer in coaching. She does a lot of self improvement, self help. I don't like self help as a word because it feels weird.
You
to
know,
say.
I'm constantly. I'm trying to think of the word.
like I feel like I bring things into my world and
Yeah.
then I decide what aligns and what doesn't. So the
Yeah.
things that align, they stick, and it becomes part of my vernacular.
Yeah.
I love that word.
And I love
'Cause it sounds
partnering
like a
with
disease.
agents too, because I see what they do from a different lens. And so that's how I built my entire business. Was I started by coaching agents on things that they could do. And I'll give you an example. Agents are notoriously not great with their schedules because they don't look at it as if they need to have a schedule because they became a realtor because of flexibility.
Right.
And there's a difference between keeping a schedule and being flexible.
An intentional day and
Right.
a woolly day.
Yes, that's where I find a lot of realtors who are striving to get to the next level lack is that like having some sort of structure and figuring that out. So that's something I've helped them with a lot. And I just love working with people who are open-minded to that. It's like I don't have to work with the top realtors, in the state. Like, do I love working with teams? Yes, because they understand the value of time. If we have to release a client who's not going to serve either of us, they're okay with it. And just to be clear, I've released quite a number of clients over my time. And before I used to think, okay,
Released.
well, I released.
Back to the
Bye-bye.
wild.
Back into
Okay.
the wild.
Because
Catch
you know
and
what I
release.
realized? So I used to say, there's a coach on Facebook that I follow. Her name is Melanie Ann Layer. If anyone's heard of her, I love her. She's seems like a sweetheart. I don't know her personally, but we're best friends, obviously. So I follow her, and she always is saying, what's good for me, what's good for you, what's good for us is kind of a collective.
Yes.
And what I realized last week, this was a really big epiphany for me. What I realized is that when I do what's best for me, it's actually best for everybody. And
Right.
sometimes you're going to think, well, how could that be, right? How could me telling someone that I don't like their cooking be good for everybody? Well, maybe that's what they're supposed to learn from it, right? And maybe I don't want to go hungry. And I'm using that as a stupid example because it doesn't matter, right? But me releasing a client, maybe there's someone out there who's actually a better fit for them to help them find a house.
Right.
Or maybe they're not quite ready for home ownership.
Right.
And maybe I save that realtor hours and hours of their time because they would have dragged us along the process and never purchased a house, right? So I started realizing what's best for me is actually best for everybody. And it was like, whoa, this is
Crazy.
wild.
That doesn't apply to everybody, but if you like, because
Especially
there's some
children.
very children, but there's some very self-centered, self-serving, selfish people.
100%.
So
But
I
you're
s-
not.
Well,
Correct.
okay, so let me kind of reframe it a little bit. When I say I do what's best for me, I do it with love.
Right.
Right. Within
With
the
the
correct
best
intention. Yep. Correct
Okay?
intentions.
So there is a difference between doing what's best for you in a way that's selfish and in a way that is feeling like it's best for everybody.
And sometimes feeling a little bit selfish, you can feel like, is this me being selfish? But it's really you creating a boundary, which a lot of people have a hard time discerning which one is which. Like, I can't say that because then I feel selfish. No, you can say, no, I don't want to go to this event because I'm trying to stay sober or something and I don't want to be around drinking. That's not you being selfish and not wanting to go. That's you creating a boundary. But like in your businesses, there's lots of ways your coaches can help you determine those boundaries.
And again, going
Absolutely.
back, like, let's talk about the sober thing. I'm going to make it really quick, but Dan Martell, right? You look at him, he's worth over $160 million. He builds this coaching thing. If you listen to his story, like, he was not in a good spot growing up. Like, he was in trouble all the time and drank and all this. And he even brought it up on stage. He's like, I love when people tell me, oh, they ask me this. And I say, oh, no, I'm sober. I don't drink. And they go, oh, my God, you're boring. He's like, I'm boring. He's like, I've skydived this. I've done this. I've gone around the world. I've had a boat. I've done this race. He goes down this list of all this shit he's accomplished. He's like, tell me again how I'm boring because I
Right.
don't drink.
Right.
He's like, this is crazy. So don't
Societal.
let that get into your head.
No.
And don't worry about it. And these realtor events are notorious for the drinking
I gave up
thing.
drinking over 2 years ago now, and I still struggle kind of with my former identity. It's like, how can I have fun? Because I actually like being around drinkers still because it's very entertaining.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
And a lot of the speakers you listen to, the really top tier, like wealthy people who are giving back a lot of their time and growing other people, a lot of them have given up drinking.
Correct.
Because
Clarity.
Right.
Clarity.
Clarity.
There's no substitute for not drinking when it comes to buying back your time, right? How much time do you lose? And I'm not saying
Right.
you can't have fun. And I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with drinking because I support it. My husband's a drinker, like, great. I just think back to how many days did I lose when I
Correct.
drank the night before?
Right.
how many nights did I lose
And
when I
how it
woke up and
snowballs.
said, what happened last night and why am I in your bed?
Oh no.
Not like that, but I mean, that happened too. I'm not going to
that did
lie.
happen too.
But I've been with my husband for 14 years now, so it's been a while since that kind of thing happened.
Right.
But yeah, it's like,
Disclaimer.
yeah, seriously. So it's so true. And you want to model these habits of the wealthy and healthy and happy people. That's for me, that's the biggest difference. I feel like I'm getting back into my happiness and my joy. And when you get rid of something that you've relied on to make you happy for so long, it's hard to figure out who you are and where you want to go next. That's another reason I love coaches. So.
Yeah,
Right, because they
I love
really
it.
do.
Yeah,
help
and they
you
see
discern.
outside of you. They see your blind spots.
Correct.
Right? You can't.
And they hold you accountable.
Yes.
We need accountability.
I need a lot
of people
of
think
that
they just need it in
sometimes.
like the gym. I'm like, I need it in more areas in
Yeah.
my life. Like I need, listen, I'll use KJ as an example. Like I had to hold her accountable for the calendar. It sounds simple, but like we need accountability. Like, and there's nothing wrong with having that person like, hey, you got to do more. Hey, I told you to do this. Why didn't you do it?
Suck at the calendar. And I'm like, yeah, I do. You're
What
right.
I would end it with, and just to kind of wrap it up, is there's so many things I want to end it with, but okay, here's the one I'll end it with. Right?
Pick your favorite.
So-
Pick your favorite.
What is the thing that you don't have to do that if you did would make a massive difference? And I think that leads back to coaching for me.
I'm confused. So what is the thing
That you don't have to do.
Like, it's not like a
But if,
requirement.
like taking it to the next
But
level?
if you did it, would make a massive
okay.
difference. And I think for
Took
me,
my brain a little to compute that.
yeah,
That makes
I got you,
perfect
girl.
sense. Thank you
I
for
think
clarifying.
for me, it would be coaching, right?
Yeah.
Getting outside of, okay, I've got the social media coaching, just sounds freaking phenomenal. I don't ever want that to end, right? But now knowing, okay, now I need to take it to the next level because there's so much more to our business now than just social media, right? There's so many layers to this. So for me, that would be the thing. I don't have to do it. I don't have to spend the money on a coach. I don't have to spend the time. I don't have to block that calendar for, those couple hours to do that Zoom or that in-person
And what
whatever.
keeps coming up
right?
over and over for you too,
Right.
right?
So,
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
great leaders
Just
don't
work
just
with
take
Katie,
notes,
the mortgage
they take
lady.
action.
You know you want to do it.
Yeah.
I had to add that in.
What'd you say?
I said just work. It was so subliminal. You didn't even
said,
notice.
what did
I said just work with Katie, the mortgage lady. Just do it. I just added that in, and neither of you just blinked an eye. I'm like, yes.
Love it. No, I'll leave all her information as well in the podcast notes. Again, if anybody wants any of the notes from the event that I went to, I'm more than happy to share that with you. Reach out to me, let me know. We appreciate all of you.
Well, I was going to say, with Katie, if you are a local, anywhere in Florida, really, because you're licensed
Yeah.
in Florida and Massachusetts.
Florida, Massachusetts, New Hampshire,
Massachusetts.
Rhode Island, and Connecticut. And I'm up in Mass a lot as well. So if anyone hears this there.
Say those states again.
So Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Florida.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So anywhere in there, if you're listening to that, and Katie sounds like someone that's like aligning with your business, and you're like, I want to work with a lender that just gets me, and I don't have to explain how I feel. And you're like,
That part.
I feel like this. She's going to have everything posted below. Melvin's so good about collecting everybody's information and putting it up there. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook.
I started TikTok recently. I've done some
Oh,
fun
the
videos.
TikTok.
She's started
I don't know
Oh my
if
God.
you've seen them lately, but
Kevin from Backstreet Boys was talking about it at the concert. It was so funny. He was like, we put this thing out on the social medias, and he was like, and Instagram and Twitter and the TikTok, and everybody's in the crowd started laughing. He was like, guys, I'm 53.
right?
Give me a break.
Yeah, give me some grace. I just got off of Facebook. Come on.
Right, I know. I didn't just open my eyes to everything.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere all of
What's
the
that?
time.
What's that movie? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a movie?
it is, and it's real wild.
It sounds exhausting.
It is. It is. But I'll let you close it out, man. This was fun.
Yeah,
Was
this
there
was a
anything
great
you
time.
wanted
Thank you for
to
having
say?
me. No, I'm just super appreciative of you guys having me.
Oh,
You.
Yeah.
Well, as always, brew good, do good. Hearts. Oh, should we make a big heart
Big
bubble?
heart. That
okay,
made
I
some. I'm not sure. We just made a fucking pumpkin.
That was a 3D pumpkin.
I'm not sure what that
So,
was.
It was a love pumpkin.
Insert heart here.
Maybe we could do something with the graphics, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
You better put a
Maybe.
pumpkin in there.
I'm about to hire someone to edit these
Oh my
things.
God.
Brew good, do good next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh no! I'm leaving that in there. Okay, bye.
That's the last call for this round of Re-Brew. with Melvin and KJ and Milestone too. From Tampa's breweries to deals done right, we'll catch you next time. Cheers and good night.